Are you somebody who loves to see what other people have in their kitchen, who wonders, do they have more than me? Do they have less than me? How do they keep it organized? So I have actually set up 18 kitchens, friends. That is right, 18. No joke, we have had 18 addresses in 19 years. So I kind of sort of know a little something about setting up a kitchen, making it flow, and not having a lot of stuff that you don't need. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in watching, then stay tuned. This video will definitely be for you. Hey everyone, and welcome. For those of you who are new, my name is Melissa, and thank you so much for joining me today. If you are not yet subscribed, click on that subscribe button down below and join our community here on YouTube. We have lots of fun and I have lots of things in store for you. I post videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and sometimes in between as well. Click on that bell right beside it. What that will do is just notify you every single time I post a new video so that you don't have to keep coming back and forth to see if I have added anything new for the week. It will just ding. Either on your computer or on your phone, and you will know that there I am. So today, friends, I want to show you what I have in my kitchen. What things do I keep in what drawers? What is the process that I go about when I set up a kitchen? Because I have actually set up 18 kitchens, friends. I'm not even kidding. We have had 18 addresses in 19 years. Go figure. Wouldn't change a thing though. So I kind of know a little thing about setting up a kitchen. So if you're curious to see what I have in my kitchen and how I have it, you know, laid out and planned, then this video is definitely for you. Let's get to it. This is my kitchen, and I would not say that my kitchen is huge per se. I, honest to goodness, do not have a lot of storage space in my kitchen. There's no storage under here. There's no storage on the sides. And so I really had to be smart in the way that I have set this kitchen up. I do have a few things over here that I will show you in a little bit, but for the most part, everything that I need is right here in the kitchen. So right alongside here, kind of the first thing, is my microwave and my oven. In this house, I only have one oven, which is fine, it works. And then down below here is actually a warming drawer. Down below, I have my hot pads, my microwave cover, and then my turkey pan and whatnot, because honestly, friends, we only use that once a year. So that is that. And then right behind me here is where I keep my dishcloths and rags. And then under here, I have some pullouts. Now, I will say that the lady that had this house before us, she was possibly even more obsessive than I am when it comes to closets. So thank God for her. But it has made it really easy for me to kind of get the things in here that I needed to, because there wasn't a ton of space, like I said. So this right here is our Vitamix. I keep that in here. And then I also keep this, which I linked in one of my favorites. And this is just a really fast blender that I got for my kids so that they could make smoothies. So the base of it is right back there. And then this just screws right on the top, and that's all you need. You just push the button. And then my pulser, or whatever you call that, I have right there. And then down below here, I haven't looked at these cupboards, friends, so I'm just praying that they're actually somewhat like put together. But down here, my cord keeps getting in the way, sorry. Right down here I have my popcorn mixer, because we do air popcorn and not microwave popcorn. And then right here I just have my little chopper. I've got my mixer here, which I keep my little mixer paddles down here with it because I don't want to have to go searching for you know, the parts to the pieces that I need. And so I just try to keep everything together. And then right over here is my potato peeler. And then, oh, hi Piper. She's like, what are you opening all these cupboards for? A funny thing in this kitchen, this is my freezer. So right back here is my fridge, and right down here is my freezer. I have two different layers to it. So I've got this top and this bottom. Don't mind my fat bombs, friends. For any of you who are on keto, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who are not, you are thinking, what in the Sam Hill is a fat bomb? So that is my freezer, which I have to be very cautious of how I organize it. So if you guys are at all interested in, you know, seeing how I organize my freezer and my fridge, then just go ahead and comment yes please down below, and that way I will know that that's a video that would be interesting to you, and I can go ahead and get that filmed. So to the left of my freezer, I have just kind of some odds and ends that I really don't use an awful lot. Obviously, you know, this is a egg cutter, an apple cutter. I've got some serving items that I really don't use unless we are having a big, you know, dinner, say like Thanksgiving or Christmas, because honestly, that's the only time that I use these things outside of my pie knife or whatever. I do use that a little bit more often for pot pie and then pies that I make at the house. This is my knife sharpener here. And then these things are kind of cool. I use these once in a while. You just stick an egg in there with a little bit of milk and whip that up really fast, put it in the microwave for, I think it's like 30 seconds, and you have an egg. So that's kind of a fun thing. The kids like to do that every once in a while if we don't already have eggs made. Then to the left of that drawer, I have just my spatulas. I'm sorry, not my spatulas, my flippers, my serving spoons, like the big ones, and then my tongs. I have a little tiny guy in here that I like for like casserole serving and things like that. And then down here I've got one of these that just fits on my pots to hold my spoons, and then just two of these spoons right here. So just not a lot of stuff. Again, I like to group like things together. So I'm in this drawer all the time, pretty much every single day. So everything really that I would need to, you know, cook on the stove is pretty much in this drawer right here. Unlike this drawer where I'm very seldom in that drawer. So again, putting like things together just helps you to kind of keep track of what is where and where it needs to go, you know, when you put it away. Down below here is where I keep my Tupperware. Now, I do not have my kids' Tupperware that I use for their lunches. Let me rephrase that. Some of the Tupperware that I use for my kids' lunches, I do not have in here. So if you guys want to see a video on my kids' lunch packing items and what I use and how I store all of that stuff that can just become craziness, then comment lunch down below and I will go ahead and get that video out for you guys as well. But what I have in here are just the lids that go to some of my glass, you know, casserole dishes. These lids right here all go to this stuff right here. And I love putting it in these little containers, which are just from the Dollar Tree. But that way I know that every single thing in that little bin goes over here with this. And I'm not searching through trying to find a lid that goes with, you know, this shaped Tupperware. These things right here, I just keep the lids on top of the actual bowl part underneath so that they're not all taking up space in here. These things right here, I keep the lids on them as I store them. That way they're not, you know, cumbersome as well, because some of these lids that have like the little weird clasps, which I love, but they just make it harder to organize, and so that way I don't have lids all over everywhere. These right here, I stack just like this. When I take them out of the dishwasher, I just put the lids on top, bowls on the bottom, and the same goes for right here, where the bowls are on the top, lids are on the bottom, just because it's easier to stack it that way for those. Right here, some of them are missing because they are in the refrigerator, but it's one of those kind of, oh, what are those? Are they Danish dolls? I don't remember. My daughter has one from my mother-in-law, but they're the bowls that, you know, fit into each other, and then you end up with just one big bowl. That's what this is, and I just, again, store them all just like this. Once, you know, we're finished using the bigger bowls, I will bring those in here, put this inside of it, the lid on top, and so forth, and that way I don't have an entire drawer full of lids. Then down below is where I keep my large casserole pans, my rolling pin, and my Silpat. I have, how many do I have here? 1, 2, I have 2 really large ones, and then one kind of medium, and then this smaller one. And then over here, I just have 2 of those really large white ones, and then on top, I have got 2 that are this size. So I've actually got quite a few in there, but because I stack them together, and again, everything is like items together, I can actually fit everything in there. Plus you can see more of what you have once you group everything into like items. And a lot of times that helps you realize, oh, you're right, I don't need 9 huge casserole pans. And so by grouping all of your stuff together that are like items, it's a little bit more helpful, at least for me, to see exactly what I have and realize maybe what I don't quite need or need as much of. So that is this little section right here, friends. Again, I've got my wash rags and dish towels over here. Down below, I've got kind of more of my choppers and mixers and things like that. This whole section right here is freezer. Right here are items that I rarely use. This right here is everything that I need for the stove. And then down below here, on top, Tupperware, on bottom, casserole. Then up here, above my microwave, I have this shelf, and you will notice, yes, this is darker. That is because when we purchased the house, all of the cabinets were that color, and we actually had them painted because I was not about to pay the money to have them all torn out just for white cabinets. So we had them repainted, and then I swapped out the hardware on here, which was actually silver. So up here I have got my rice cooker, my Instant Pot, my waffle iron, and my skillet. And that is all that I have up there, because honestly that is all that I really use as far as those type items go. And then over here I have all of my pans. Up here I have just a ginormous pan that I batch cook with, and so I keep that up there. I've actually never noticed until right now that this shelf is flipped. I will have to fix that. Over here I have my cutting boards. This right here are the little stands that I put my cookies on when I take them out so that they can, you know, cool from underneath as well. Our pizza pans. This is my plug-in griddle. All of my cookie sheets right here, and then my normal sized muffin tins, and then over here I have the mini muffin tins as well as the jumbo. And that is all that I have up there. I will say up here you will see I have the plug-in for my griddle. That way I'm not, you know, searching for it or trying to find it in a drawer. And then obviously right here is our refrigerator. To the right of that is where I keep all of my cups and things. At the top here are where we keep our fancy glasses. We do not drink, so these only get used, you know, for special occasions or Thanksgiving or Christmas. Over here is where I keep a couple of my, you know, swell bottles and just those types of bottles that, you know, you can use that keep your stuff hot and cold for a certain amount of time, but those right there are just way too tall to fit down here with the other ones. So on this shelf right here is where we keep all of our coffee mugs, as far as, you know, ones that you can take again with you that keep things hot and cold. We've got these little tiny ones that I sometimes use at the house, but I can't take them with me because the little handle right here won't fit into my console cup holder. So we use those every once in a while. And then just back there are all of the different, you know, ones that we have for coffee and tea, or again, cold items. Then down here, I just have my regular mugs. I keep everything white just because it's easy. Everything goes together. I've had these right here for, seems like forever, at least 5 years. I got them from Target, although I do think that Target still sells those because they are so popular. So if you're looking for some, they are just a great size, and I love them. Again, I've had them forever. Then down below here is where I keep all of my coffee and tea. Over here is where Sam has his coffee because he likes, you know, the K-cup ones. Right here are my spoons for my coffee. I just got these from Target not too long ago. Super awesome. I use these to scoop my coffee because I put them in the little pods so that I can buy, you know, the kinds that I really like. So I've got the natural vanilla, and then back there I've got a Folgers caramel one, and then still loving the pumpkin spice, friends. All year, every year. Over here I've got my tea, and then back behind these little pods in just a little round Tupperware is where I keep my stevia packets. So that is all that I have in there. Again, like items, friends. I cannot urge that enough. And then over here I have my, you know, mixing bowls, as far as, I shouldn't say mixing bowls, I guess my serving bowls. So up top here I have these bowls and covers that I actually use when I chop up fruits and vegetables and put them in my fridge. As you can see, they are just glass containers that have lids that go on the top of them, which make them really easy to stack in my refrigerator. And then down here are just different things that I serve food in. So a lot of times we'll do vegetables in this, and then over here, you know, more for salads or things like that. And then the next shelf is where I keep all of my measuring cups, my glass ones. And then down here are just kind of some fun mugs that I've been given over the years from people. We received this one when we left Colorado. This is one of my favorite ones in the fall. It is upside down, but it says, "I'm so glad that I live in a world where there are Octobers." These right here my kids like to use in the summertime. And then just some more cute ones. This one right here says, this is my new favorite one, "Be still and know that I am God." That is my saying, one of my favorite sayings ever. I have it a lot through my house. And then these right here are just little tea steepers. I love these. They actually, whoops, here, I'll show you. They fit inside of your mug. and it looks like a little dude sitting in a hot tub. For some of you that might totally gross you out, but I think it's cute. And so I keep those little guys in here. As you will notice, I turn over my mugs because these are things that I don't use all the time, and so that way dust and things don't get in there, and it just keeps it nice and clean. Then down here to the left, well, first of all, we've got a little sink right here. These are our fish. And then right here is our ice maker. So that is what is there. This is a drawer that is just, you know, for decoration. It's not functioning. Underneath here, oh, see, like I said, friends, I haven't looked at this before. I have actually started videoing this. Down here is where we keep vases that I use for, you know, flowers in the summertime. This right here is just a little container that we use for keeping things for our fish that we need. And then back there I just have a fire extinguisher. And so that is all that I have in there. Not a lot, because honestly not a lot can fit in there. And then to the right of that is where I keep my hot pads, my aprons, my spoon, you know, for when you're cooking and you want to lay your spoon on something instead of your counter. So these are cute. I like these. This one says, "Hello gorgeous, want a spoon?" And this one says, "Life's short, lick the spoon." And then that's just a double one. And then our fish food right there. So that is all that I have in there. So again, these are very similar items. Everything that is pretty much surrounded with, you know, cooking on the stove, that type of thing. Obviously not the fish. Then underneath that is where I have all of my baggies and things. I keep these in a drawer because it just works to keep everything contained. So I have some snack sized here. I have got my quart size all right here. Some are zippers, some are not. And then I just have the sandwich size here, another snack one that is just kind of a different, these are more portion control. So these snack ones look like, look like this. And then the ones over here are just square, just like that. So I have two different kinds in there that I use for food storage and lunches, and then some larger ones down here in the front. So it's just a way to, again, keep it all together and not be running around the kitchen looking for different things here and there. Then down here is where I keep all of my aluminum foil, my plastic wrap, parchment paper, all that type of thing. And then I just have some extra of the gallon size storage because it wouldn't fit up above. And then down below here is where I keep all of my little casserole dishes and things. These right here I keep on hand. They are just smaller. Just if I have, you know, a small amount of something that I want to heat up in the oven, then I will go ahead and put it in that instead of the microwave. I'm kind of trying to get away from the microwave a little bit, and so that kind of helps me do that. And then I have just some smaller things. These I actually use if I am doing chicken. You know, the whole process with the egg and the crumbs and all that kind of deal. Those are perfect. They're a perfect size for chicken breasts or, you know, whatever it is that you are breading. I find that those work really well, and they're just Pyrex containers or glass dishes that I got from Walmart. These right here I love. Just kind of, you know, putting things in there and cooking them that way, and then also being able to store them just in my refrigerator and then warming them up. In here is where I keep my spices. So I had to be really creative with this because I don't know if I can get you to see or not. This is, okay, so here is my finger, and it only comes up to right there on my finger. This is a very, very shallow drawer, and so I had to be really creative as far as how I was going to utilize my space well and have the things that I needed right here where I needed them. I didn't want to have to be going to the pantry, you know, every time I needed a spice, or taking up other space in my kitchen that I didn't really have to take up. And so what I did was, and I will link these down below, but I found these little containers on, of course, Amazon. And they are just the perfect size. And then what I did was I just took my label maker and I just stuck a label on the top of that for, you know, obviously what it contains. So this is a perfect way for me to keep all of the spices that I use close by. And I'll do a pantry video someday and show you where I put, you know, the ones of these that I dump into here and how I keep those stored to where it's not taking up a ton of my space either. And then in here I just have another seasoning that I use all the time. I've got some yeast and some toothpicks. So really not a ton. I mean, this is my spice cabinet. Down here I don't have a lot either. I just have my mixer. I use these two all of the time. My mother-in-law got me this for Christmas, so I have that down there. Then back here, I'm afraid to open this because I don't know what it looks like. I haven't had my coffee yet today. Oh, not bad. I have got my coffee maker in here and our toaster, and this actually slides out just like that. And then I can just push it back in when we are done, and it keeps everything off the counter. And again, yes, you will see, this is the old color of the cabinets, and we had them painted white. Then over here are our dog treats. We've got chew bones over here, and just like potty treats, we call them, right here. And then I guess I can show you what's on my counter. I've got the Amazon Show over there. This is where I keep muffins and things like that, which tomorrow is baking day, so I'll be filling that up. And then just all of my decorative cutting boards. Cutting boards remind me of my grandma, and so I kind of have a love for them, although I don't need any more. But I just like seeing those. It just kind of brings a woodsy element into what could be a very sterile kitchen. And then over here is where we keep our fruit. That way it's kind of in sight, and the kids are more prone to grab that than something else, if they can see it. In this cupboard here is where I have all of my plates and bowls and like my pie pans, my bread pans. Up here I have like cake pans that are all up there, as well as my flour sifter. And then here are just the little plates. Right here is my butter dish. And then these are just kind of little tiny mixing bowls or serving bowls, if I have something very small like onions or something like that. Back here are 4 ramekins. So I've got 2 white and 2 blue. And then down here are just our everyday dishes. Just our plates, our bowls, and then our salt and pepper. Again, I like to keep everything white because I just feel like it goes with everything. I don't have to worry with things not matching and all that business. Then in the cupboard beside that, I have all of my mixing bowls up here. I've got my strainer with like the handle, and then my normal strainers here that just sit in the sink. Mixing bowls here, mixing bowls here. And then this was a really funny, I'll show you this. This is just a really funny mug that my kids got me in my stocking. And it's just a little toilet. They thought that that was really funny. So I keep that one up here just because it's so big that it doesn't really fit into my other cupboards. So I've got those there, and then I just have our glasses down here. These are just our everyday drinking glasses. I love these. I've had these for like 3 or 4 years. They are from Walmart. The Pioneer Woman is the brand. And then over here is my husband's mug. He drinks water or tea or soda out of that, and has had it for, oh my gosh, before I came along. So, you know, we've been together, let's see, this year will be 20 years, 22. So he's had it over 22 years. And then back here, I just got these from Walmart as well. And they have a little place on top of those lids for straws. So in the summertime, I love those for tea and cold things, just to have around. Then down below here is where I have all of my knives and things, my scraper, my corn on the cob, pokers, whatever you want to call them, handles. Then right here I have my kind of more accessible knife sharpener. And then all of my whisks, because again, right here is my stove, and I do a lot of whisking when I cook. And so I've got all of that just right there where I need it. Over here I have all of my spatulas, my measuring cups and whatnot. These are just, Chloe put these in here the other day. It's actually what she uses when she makes her slime. But I probably, you know, only, well, no, I have what I need. I'll be honest. I've tried to have less, and I do a lot of baking and cooking. And so for me to have these and not have to rinse and wash as I go, it's just handy for me. And then over here I've got some measuring spoons. Over here I've got some measuring spoons. But again, everything that I have fits exactly in this space. If I bring something in, you know, from now on, then I generally take something out, just because I don't want this to get totally cluttered. And next to that drawer, I have my ice cream scoops, my lighters, 2 pairs of scissors, and then in here I have my mashed potato masher, and then I always call this a meat hammer. I don't know the technical term for it. I've got a bottle opener for when we have like sparkling cider, my injector for the 2 times a year that we have turkey, and then my baster for those exact 2 times as well. I've got a lemon or a lime press, my can opener, a timer, which honestly I could get rid of that, but my kids like to hear the ding, so we use that once in a while. I've got 2 pizza cutters, and then my peeler, and that's all I have. Oh, and then I've got an orange peeler, which we eat mandarin oranges all the time, so really I don't ever use that unless somebody has come to visit that likes oranges over mandarins. Down here I just have these 2 pots. They are kind of the medium to large size pot. And then back there I've got my hamburger press. And then down here I have 2 smaller pots. This thing right here I use for when I make donuts. This right here is a ricer, like a cauliflower ricer, and then my grater. Then over here is where I keep all of my pans. I've got a little tiny rolling pin for Chloe that she likes to use. And then I have my can tell that these are very used. I've got these, which I've set over my pans when I'm cooking something with a lot of oil. That way it doesn't splatter all over my entire counter or stove. And then under that is where I keep my bigger cooking pans. So I've got my wok. This is just a really deep pan, and then that is one that does not have, you know, the normal handle there. Then under here, I just have all of my, you know, general under sink stuff. I actually set this up. It's on there with a little Velcro, 3M Velcro strip for my paper towels, because I was so sick and tired of having them on the counter there, because it just, I don't know, for me it was just taking up more counter space. It just looked sloppy and I did not like it there. And so I just got that from, I think it was Walmart, and just put that on top there. Down below we just have what pretty much everybody has under their sink. Soap, I've got some vinegar, spray right here, my trash bags, sponges. These are things when we clean our fish tank, which I always wash in the dishwasher afterwards, and dishwasher soap, and my gloves. So I just have our silverware in here, which I know somebody's gonna ask. This is the Threshold brand from Target, and it is black. Then up here we just have our metal straws and what do I want to say, serving spoons and forks. And then over here to the left I have 2 Sharpies, which, you know, I write things for the kids' lunches, or, you know, people come over and we use plastic cups, and so everybody just writes their name on it. I've got some chapstick in here because, you know, 'tis the season. And then underneath is where I keep our other silverware that we use more so for, again, Thanksgiving and Christmas and that type of thing. So I've got my serving tongs over here, which we do use for salad, but really this stuff right here is just for, you know, special occasions. And then the cupboard under that is just our trash. 2 buckets down there. And then over here is just the light is going to be a little bit difficult. There we go, you can kind of see it. That's just where I keep things that I love. So I've got some mugs in there that my kids have made me. I've got a picture of them, which is one of my favorites. That is my kitchen, friends. Just really, really simple. I don't have a ton of stuff that I don't use. I feel like everything in my kitchen I use, and I just try to keep it as organized as I can. Try to keep things in here that I use and remove things that I don't, so that I don't run out of space or, you know, find myself with just an abundance of clutter. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope that it gave you just a little bit of inspiration to get into your kitchens and just start going through, seeing what you have, grouping things together in like items, and then, you know, just kind of placing it around your kitchen in a way that works for you. You know, where are you when you need those specific items? And then just try to place them in an area that makes sense for what you need it to do and where you need those items to be at specific times. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I would love it if you would join us here. I do videos on cooking, cleaning, decorating, organizing, just mom stuff. We have a lot of fun here, and we would love to have you join our community. Until next time, friends, I just encourage you to create a life that you absolutely love living and will not need a vacation from. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.